Hello and welcome back to Tech and EduSparkHub, where technology meets education. Quick challenge. What do you think will be the result or the output of this you are seeing in Python? If you said 21, hang on because Python Maths has a little surprise for you. In this video, we are going beyond the simple plus and minus to mastering multiplication, division, exponents and modulus, and even some matrix your calculator doesn't know about. And the best part, you can do it all in just a few lines of code. As usual, let's create a new writing block of code in PyCharm for a fresh page and see the Python maths in action, starting with the basics and then cracking it up to the pro level. Let's dive in. Let's have a quick flashback on what we did in our last lesson on type conversion. Let's say I write the print function and put in a statement saying your age range is and I put a number, let's say I put the number 15 here, and I can put the plus button here to concatenate these strings with the number together. So if I go ahead and run this code, you can see we will get something called the type error, just because all we need to print out must be in form of a string, but here in our case we are having an integer. So to get rid of this error, all we have to do is by converting this integer to a string data type, and to do this we can simply write the string function in front of this integer as seen on my screen. And when we run this code, we can see that everything is all good and it outputs what we want, and this is more of type conversion or typecasting. Now let's start with the basic mathematical operation, the addition and subtraction in Python. This is just as simple as using the plus and minus sign. And to perform this operation, let's say we set a variable called a and assign it with a equal sign to a number 10, and we set another variable called b and assign it with a equal sign to another number 8. To perform the addition operation, we can just simply print out a plus b, and what this will do is that it will add both numbers together to give us an answer. So let's run this code and see what happens. You can see this has performed a mathematical operation for us by adding the number in the a variable plus the number in the b variable. And we can easily do the subtraction using the same method by writing the print statement and putting a minus b in the print function. And when we run this code, you can see this has performed a subtraction operation for us. And you can choose not to use a variable. The reason why I use a variable in my case is just because I don't want to keep repeating the numbers. So you can choose to perform a free operation by using the print function and putting any number you want. Let's say you just put 10 and 17. And if you run this code, you can see it will add both numbers together, and this is a way you can perform the addition and the subtraction operation in Python. Easy, right? No surprise here, Python behaves just like a normal calculator. Next up, we have the multiplication and the division operation in Python. The multiplication uses the asterisk sign and the division uses the forward slash sign. And to perform this operation, we can choose to continue with our variable by using the print function to print out a multiplied by b. And when we run this code, you can see this has multiplied the number in the variable a, which is 10, and the number in the variable b, which is 8, together to give us an answer. And here you can choose to work with a free range number by using the print function to multiply another number. Let's say I use 12, multiply by a number, let's say I use 15. And when I run this code, you can see this has given me the results of the number I entered in the print function using the multiplication asterisk sign. So to perform the division operation, we can choose to continue with our variable also by using the print function to divide a by b. And when we run this code, you can see it has given us the answer to the division of the number in the variable A and variable B. So you can also choose to work with a free range number by using the print function to divide a number. Let's say I use the number 10 divided by the number 5. And when I run this code, you can see it has given me the answer to this operation that I want to perform. And one thing you will notice here is that it is always giving out a floating point number, which means it is always returning a decimal number. And this is just because Python is number friendly. But what if we want a whole number result when we perform the division operation? Like how we ignore the remainder in math class. And this is where the floor division comes in. And the floor division uses the double forward slash sign. And to perform this operation, we can simply choose to continue with our variable by using the print function to floor divide A by B. And when we run this code, you can see that this gives us the exact whole number to this division and it ignores the remainder to this operation. So you can see in our first case, we are getting the number 1.25. But in our second case, when we use the floor division, we are getting the number 1, which means it always ignores the remainder whenever we use a floor division instead of the normal division sign. And we can choose to perform another operation by using the print function. Let's say we use the number 16 and using the floor divide by 5. And when we run this code, you can see it is going to give us the exact whole number to this division and it will ignore the remainder, and this is how floor division operates. Another operation we have in Python is known as the modulus, and this uses the percentage sign, and what this do is to give us the remainder of any value after division. And to perform this operation, we can simply write the print function, and let's say I want to use the number 9 modulo 2. When I run this code, this is going to give me the remainder of 9 divided by 2, and this is how the modulus works. You can see it has given us the remainder in this operation, and modulus is super useful for finding even or odd numbers or cycling through values. And finally, we'll be looking at the exponential operation, and this uses the double asterisk sign, and this is used to raise a number to a power. And to perform this operation, we can simply write the print function and recall from what we had earlier, which was 7 exponential 3. So when we run this code, you can see we have gotten our answer, which is not 21, because this 7 exponential 3 means 7 multiplied by 7 multiplied by another 7, which is 343 and not 21. And that is Python maths in a nutshell. And now you know how Python handle maths like a pro. But this is just the beginning. Drop an emoji in the comment section if you learned something new today. And don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next lesson. And in our next lesson, we'll be looking at the number manipulation, rounding up of numbers and the F string. But until then, keep learning and keep exploring. I'll see you in the next one.